I'm getting this question. When will Kyle Rittenhouse be free to go about his life? And for over a year, I've answered, it'll be soon, just as soon as he gets a fair trial. He'll be acquitted on all counts because the evidence of his innocence is just too clear, too public, and too obvious. And you can see a description of all this video evidence in a video I produced within hours of the Kenosha, Wisconsin incident right here. And you can look it up in this link. The abundance of admissible evidence is unprecedented in a shooting case like this one. The wild charges which were so quickly filed against him should have been dismissed by now. But it is now clear that the county is determined to convict Kyle unjustly on unjust counts and put him in prison for life. And this political perversion of justice is playing out right now in pretrial and in jury selection. So why did it take so long to get this whole process started, to get the trial started? And the answer, I think, is this. It takes a long time to lay the groundwork for injustice. And it now appears that the entire county population has been tampered with going back several months. More than 2/3 of the county now, when you look at polls that have just recently been taken, more than 2/3 have been convinced that Kyle is a hateful killer and that he should be found guilty of murder no matter what evidence is shown at the trial. And this means that the jury, which is being selected this week, will likely be a partial jury, a poisoned jury, unable to consider Kyle innocent until proven guilty, unable to be intellectually impartial, which means this political show trial may be over before it even begins. Kyle may be deliberately deprived of justice and may be unjustly sentenced to life as a political prisoner in a Wisconsin prison. So how did this happen? How can a jury be so effectively poisoned? And you can look down through history and you can see that this is very simple. If you're playing politics and if injustice is the goal, you can do it. And here's one formula you can follow. You can poison the entire jury pool. You get a political prosecutor to launch an information influence operation by spreading false or misleading information about the defendant into the media. And in this case, we have had a very cooperative media who wanted to work with this prosecutor. I won't describe him yet to you, but he's been working with the media to poison the population. He's even poisoned them with statements that are not true about the law. His name is Tom Binger. He's the prosecutor. He's been saying, for example, here's a quote, "Shooting an unarmed man is never lawful," is one of his quotes, inferring that Kyle is an outlaw. And this is obviously false, and it's obviously false law, but the sensationalistic media has an apparatus which can then embellish the disinformation and spread it further into the gullible population. And the gullible population can then repeat disinformation as popular fact and support an unjust prosecutor in his effort to get an unjust verdict. And that's what the county is working toward. And this is what happens when elections for judges and district attorneys and prosecutors become political. When we vote for party men instead of just men, jurisprudence dies and our courts become political machines. And they can churn out unjust decisions and they can churn out political prisoners. And let me just say, if you do that, if you vote for men who are more political than they are just, this is what you'll get. You'll get political prisoners. So what can you do for Kyle right now? That is the question of the week. I'm still looking into that. I'm not quite sure yet, but I will try to keep you informed through my newsletter, no matter where you live. I'm Jeffrey Botkin. You can subscribe to this channel and my free newsletter and links below. And please do look at this video about Kyle, which is putting him on trial this week.